Hi, I'm Jennifer, and this is your Marketing Minute by the Department of Marketing. Today we're talking about marketing strategy. Now, I'm recording this in late July, but no matter what time of year it is and when you're watching this, you need to always be thinking about your marketing strategy for the following year. Here are a few steps on how to do that. First, make a list of every advertising and marketing thing you're doing. Now, that might be just some of the small things like handing out business cards, or even something like networking, which, yes, does count as marketing. Next, you're going to need to take a look and see what's working and what's not. Can you point to some of those efforts and say, yes, I got new business, new clients, sold more products because of that effort? Now, at this point, you might be realizing you don't have any metrics or measurements in place, and if not, now's a great time to get that started. Next, you're going to decide which ones you want to keep. Of course, those are the ones that are working, and then you can ditch the ones that aren't. And then finally, make a huge list of all sorts of advertising and marketing things that you would like to try for next year. Go crazy with this, don't limit yourself, dream big, and then you can go back and choose the ones that you're going to try next year based on your budget, your company, your industry, your location, all of those things. Now, this part of the process can be a bit challenging for people, but of course, we're happy to help here at the Department of Marketing, or you can read more about creating your marketing strategy on our blog post.